My name is Brian Sangster. Had a whole career in agricultural engineering or land-based engineering. I was immediate past president for the last 4 years in BAGMA. BAGMA is the British Agricultural and Garden Machinery Association, and it relates to machinery, agricultural tractors, machinery, ground care machinery, and we're the people who would repair them and carry out servicing, etc. My background, I was an apprentice, I've served my apprenticeship. I'm not like one of the young lads and just having come up through the career now. I served my apprenticeship a number of years ago. I became a service engineer. I was a lecturer in agricultural engineering in an agricultural college, further education college. I was a service manager in a branch. I was a group service manager looking after the whole group of companies. And latterly I was the national president of BAGMA, so I've got a wealth of experience throughout the industry. So engineering, there are lots of different types of engineering, and when the kid comes along and says I want to be an engineer, well, what kind of engineer do you want to be? Jotted down a few of them there: electronic engineers, construction engineers, motor vehicle. I'm going to talk basically about land-based engineering. Land-based engineering in itself can be subdivided down into a lot of different areas, and we've heard some of the people this morning talk about different areas within land-based topics. Agricultural machinery, forestry machinery, we heard a little bit about forestry earlier on, ground care equipment, garden equipment, dairy equipment, grain drying, construction equipment, all got their own specialisations. Just to give you a feel for the types of things we're talking about, obviously agricultural tractors is the one that first comes to mind. Lots of different sizes, and I'm sure you've all been stuck behind them on the road and cursed them at times, but it's all an important part of our industry. Some big ones, as you can see, as Michael mentioned, the price of these things now, you're looking at £200,000, that's the price of your house. And some of them are becoming bigger. Combine harvesters, you're talking £500,000 for these machines, and you only use them for 6 weeks of the year to sit away again. What I'll keep coming back to, referring back to, is we're the engineers, we're the guys, there's loads of technology in there, but we're the guys that repair it when it goes faulty. There's obviously a career in people who drive these machines and operate them, but as I said, the technology is such now that what happens when it goes wrong, and we'll talk about GPS and machines going to the other end of the field in a straight line, GPS controlled. But when it starts to go offline and veers off in the wrong direction, what do? You phone the garage, your car, you take it into the garage. Because of the size of these machines, we need to be able to go out into the field to repair them. Round balers, you've all seen the big round bales lying in the field there. Again, when that bale comes out the back, instead of a nice round shape, we're the guys who go out and repair them. Sprayers, some of them self-propelled, some of them mounted onto the back of tractors, all becoming much bigger, and you've all seen the size of these machines on the road, as I said, much wider, because they're big enough to be able to support big long booms and wide booms. We'll come up to some of the intricacies of these. Some of these are big one-pass systems now, so instead of having one tractor doing one operation and another tractor following on doing another operation, we'll have one big tractor with perhaps a cultivator on it, and perhaps a cultivator on it there. It's got a sowing machine on the back that will put in the grain. It's got harrows in the back. It's got a tank on the front that's probably feeding in fertiliser to go down with the grain. So it's one big tractor, hence the size of them, but now mounting a number of different machines on there. So the number of people on farms has reduced. We were talking about shortages of people coming into our industry, and that came throughout all the other presentations. And when I sit and listen to the talks at the tables afterwards, we're all looking for people to come into our industry. I think I mentioned at one of the tables that our problem now is that a few years ago there was a lot of people lived on farms, a lot of families grew up on farms, and kids knew what farming was all about and was interested in farming. Now there's hardly anybody who lives on a farm and works on farms, so it is becoming difficult to get into the companies. We're Obviously having big telehandlers to move these big machines, we're the guys that repair them when it goes faulty. Smaller forklifts around the farm working on the concrete, ATVs used in forestry, used for sheep farmers up in the hills, and numerous applications. Forestry equipment is all part of land-based engineering. From the forestry presentation earlier on, and machines were talked about. These machines will drive forward, grab the tree, cut the tree, turn it over, strip the branches off, cut it off at specific lengths. Sorry, getting a note from the back saying push on. Just to give you a feel for all the different types of machines we're in. Garden machinery, ground care machines on golf courses, households. A lot of robotics now. Thinking is there'll be something like over 20% increase in robotic mowers over the next 4 or 5 years. Small hand tools, robotic milking parlours now, where the cows come in themselves. The farmer doesn't need to go out there at 6 o'clock in the morning and bring the cows in to milk them. The cows will automatically come in. They'll automatically go into the stall, be milked and probably fed as well because they're tagged. And I'll pick up that tag as they go in. Auto steer, we spoke about machines driving in a straight line. They can be controlled once you set the parameters of the field onto the machine. It will automatically steer it in the direction you program it to do, or the operator programs it to do. But when it goes faulty, we do that. There's screens inside the cab which will tell the driver where he is. Sometimes he'll follow that screen manually, but what he needs to do is input the width of his sprayer or whatever machine he's working on, and he can come back in a parallel line at the exact width of the machine. Some of the controls inside the tractors and screens that they've got on now. Just a few shots. So there's the one tractor. There's got 3 different screens for different either machines in the back. One of them will tell them about the telematics in the tractor. That information can be fed now back to base, perhaps from the combine harvester back to base. It goes into the farm computer. The farm manager will then pass that information back, and then it may be fed into another machine. That all goes right into precision farming, where all that information can be fed in from the farm office, fed from individual machines back to the farm office, and that information can be fed up. Drones we talked about earlier on. They're increasing using drones, and we'll hear about that all the time. Robotic tractors now, they don't need a driver. Well, why do they have drivers? From a health and safety point of view at this moment in time. But the technology is there for that machine to work on its own and go back and forward the field and around the field. There was a programme just recently where Harper Adams did a whole season without any operators in any of these machines. Did a whole season, cultivation, right through to harvesting that we've got going. So the type of people we need, technicians for carrying out repairs, and that could be mechanical repairs on any of these machines, but a lot of it now is electronics. So we're looking for people that has that electronic skills, and that includes ladies and women into our industry. So land-based engineering, I mentioned a few of these earlier on. What specialisations are within these, because there are a number of skills that are common to all of these different types of machines. They've all got engines, but they're all highly set up machines and engines now to control the emissions, which is a big issue nowadays. Transmissions, all very specialised transmissions. Hydraulics, electronics, electro-hydraulics, GPS, auto guide, auto steer, telematics. You've all seen telematics in Formula 1 racing, where the manager back at the pits can tell the driver, slow down, or your tire pressures are down, or the engine's overheat time. That information we use as well, and that information will be sent back, as I showed earlier on, back to base. We could probably phone the farmer up and say, your tractor's just about due a service, can we program that into next week? Job opportunities, obviously apprenticeships, becoming a service engineer, technician, foreman, leading on to a service manager for a branch, machinery sales, tractor machinery sales, parts sales, demonstrators, manufacturers, support engineers, and the design. There's a numerous range of opportunities in our industry. What are the required skills? Someone with a want to understand. You can tell somebody has got a mechanical knowledge and a mechanical want to understand how things work, with an inquisitive mind, a logical mind. You don't want somebody just mantling a machine and just chucking bits all over the place. It needs to be a logical order. Someone with a bit of dexterity. These machines are big, huge, and it's not like laying all the bits out and there's a mechano on the table. You need to be able to get round the back of it and do something else here. It's almost this. Flexibility to seasonal work demands. The farmer who's harvesting and he knows it's going to rain tomorrow, wants that combine harvester back working as soon as possible tonight, not tomorrow, not programming it in for a service next week. It needs to be done now. There's a huge seasonal work demand, as you can appreciate. And you need to be a team worker, because you need to be able to work with people in getting these big machines up and working, but you equally need to be a bit of a lone worker. And if you're sent out into a field on your own and there's no one else there to help you and turn around to you as you would do in a garage, where you might be able to call in the foreman and say, look, I'm struggling a little bit here, can you help me? Can you have a look at this and see what you think? You're on your own, you make your own decisions. Entrance qualifications, O grades, National 4, Maths, English, Physics, definite. National 4, preferably even 5. You can see the sort of technology involved in the requirements. Plus, engineering related subjects, engineering science, engineering drawing, computing, IT, something along these lines. We will be looking for these, but there'll be a minimum of Maths, English and Physics. Career qualifications, modern apprenticeships, SBQ level 2, level 3. There are manufacturers' technical courses, as you can appreciate with that level of technology on the machines now. The manufacturers got to do continual training, and we used to spend a lot of money on training people using manufacturers' training. There's obviously professional qualifications, LTAs, land-based technical accreditation up to level 4, and obviously up to degree level. What colleges do we use? SRUC is probably the main college in Scotland. Oatridge is the one around this area, as everybody seems to know about. They'll do land-based engineering. Barony College down the borders. There's obviously manufacturers' apprenticeship schemes, and there's a lot of apprenticeship schemes now being run by the manufacturers themselves. John Deere run John Deere run apprenticeship schemes, as do Class, John Deere, etc. And Harper Appleton's University being the one that take up to degree level. Further information, there's 3 areas. There's obviously the Distributor Association, that's the area that I was involved in. It's an association for the distributors, or like the garages. Yes, the Institute of Agriculture Engineers would give you a professional qualification. AEA is the Agricultural Engineers Association, which is the Manufacturers Association. Any of these people would give you, on their own websites, will give you lots of information. That website, www.landbasedengineering.co.uk, has got a wealth of information, as has the Lantra one and the Lantra brochure that got in your backs here. I think I've just about beat you. Just about the time up. I think that's just about at the end. We'll be discussing obviously further on when we come round.